Okay. Don't worry, I'll cut some things. You can relax, you can smile, you can do.
I'm just trying
Um,
to watch my jokes. I'm like, oh God, I haven't had
I
a
looked at all
filter
your
in
faces, you're like,
years.
okay, we're ready. Action, let's go,
I
let's
know.
go. I'm like, it's all good, y'all. Let me make sure I got everything I need in front of me. Okay. There goes a little something at this. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Introducing, interviewing, Missy D Interviews Constellation. Hi everyone, we're back with a special edition of Missy D Interviews Constellation. My name is Missy D. I use she and her pronouns, and I'm going to be joining you on the unceded lands and traditional ancestral lands of the Musqueam peoples. And we'll be speaking to some people who are stellar folks living on the land of the Squamish, Tsleil-Waututh, and Musqueam peoples. Take this time to acknowledge the land that you're on and the people as we reflect on all the things that are currently happening in the world, in our communities. And I want to dedicate this episode to the people that are in need, hoping this episode shines in solidarity with you. Yes, Missy D's interviews are all about shining light on the realities, on the dreams, on the stars, on the movement, and our community builders. So for this special edition, let's talk constellation. Constellation is a collective bringing together a group of local event organizers to help bring musicians and fans alike more of what they want to see. If you love live music and want to meet some of the people who are making it, the Constellation wants to meet you. Like a beautiful statement on their locals lounge website with a quote from Naomi Murakawa, why be a star when you can be a constellation? Right? So let's meet some wonderful performers who will be illuminating the stage at Guilt & Co. on Wednesday, March 9th with Locals Lounge. Presents Kristina Lao, Ex Machina, and Ian Cromwell. So while you wait for the show, let's warm up and get to know this first constellation. So, you see some people on my screen right now? You see some faces? I'm going to introduce themselves. So, Matt, Contois.
you, you nailed it. My name is Matt Kokantwa. I'm an Indigenous musician from northern Manitoba. I moved to Vancouver about 8 years ago. Oh my God, 8 years ago. Time flies. I've been playing fiddle for about 20 something years, guitar for about similar amount of time, but I've just played a bunch of styles throughout my career, and I love playing pretty much everything under the sun. I have a band I started at the beginning of the pandemic. I was supposed to have an album out by the summer and then have shows, and then pandemic kind of came out of left field and punched me in the face. But I got a year's worth of writing time, so there was some unexpected benefits there. So the band is called Ex Machina, and this is actually going to be my third show. Is this band? And the first time I get to actually have people kind of in front of me, which is going to be interesting.
Yes, applauses. Plug that in here. You'll hear it like, yay. Who are you, Christina Lao?
Oh gosh, is that not the eternal question? Missy, I'm so happy to see you. You are such an illuminating force yourself. So thank you for having me. My name's Kristina Lao. I go by she, her. I am from Hong Kong originally. I am Chinese, Nepalese, and British Polish. And I am an artist advocate. I spend 50% of my time in front of the lens and 50% behind. In my music world, I'm writing my album right now. Recording it with Carl DeCare, who's co-written all of these wonderful pieces with me. Ian and I play together as often as we can. We just had a show past, and I'm really looking forward to performing with him again. And I specialize in championing creative, sustainable careers in media and entertainment.
Love to hear it. Who are you, Ian Cromwell?
I want to echo what Christina said. I'm so glad to be on Missy D Interviews again for round two. So my name's Ian Cromwell. I am a health economist. I am the executive curator of Locals Lounge, and I am a singer-songwriter. I started on violin when I was a kid, picked up guitar in high school, and for the past 8 or so years, I've been working with both those instruments and a looper to just do fun, loopy stuff. I'm also going to be the curator for this show at Guilt. And so the folks who will be joining me on stage are people who I love to collaborate with, musicians who I really respect, and musicians who are going to put on a hell of a show that is going to delight the audience for sure.
You are telling it, you're promoting it. People, March 9th, get those tickets. First come, first serve, a Guilt & Co. So I think it's like $6 per person. So it's your opportunity. This is the opportunity to go and watch some live music, like Matt said. First time having the audience there. Kristina showing her talents on that stage. I'll be there. I'll be jamming, listening to Ian on that violin. Oh, sorry, fiddle. Right. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about those differences. I got some questions. So Missy D Interviews, like you said, and you mentioned, Kristina, it's a way to connect with artists. I always found that when I did shows back in the day, you run in the green room, but you're too busy trying to get on that stage. You're too busy trying to, you don't have time to talk to everybody, to the community organizers, to the people doing the work, the behind the scenes, and so on. And I was like, I just want to sit down with people in 2020. And I was alone in my room being like, I just want to talk with people and get to know them, check in. I'm a fan of them. I might want to get inspired by how they got started. And I think there's someone out there listening right now being like, hey, I wonder how this person got started into it. So that's what Missy D is all about. It's a check-in, it's a discovery, it's a way to just see that we're all humans and we're trying to humanize this thing or live life, whatever the verb is that I should be using. So without further ado, I'm gonna go with round one. Round one is called What's Up? What's New? It's a check-in round. We did a little preamble earlier, but I was like, hey, tell me, y'all, how are you doing today? What have you been up to? What's been the beginning of this 2022, which is already in March? I don't know how. Yeah, what's been happening in your life, Matt?
A lot of work stuff, been digitizing everything. In my actual life, I'm actually starting to play to people again, which is kind of getting exciting. We played our first show for dancers, I think 2 weeks ago, and seeing a dance floor was like I was on a completely different planet. It just feels so odd to see people up and enjoying themselves right in front of you. But it brought back a lot of memories from before the pandemic, and I just remember the excitement of going to play shows. And before the pandemic, I kind of played in a lot of bands that were I was an instrumental side piece kind of thing. I was the guy that plays a million notes and shows off, gives the singer a break, and I moved into the role to kind of being in front of the mic myself now. So before the pandemic, any show I was going to play, I was like, I know this is going to go good. I've done my practice. I am extremely nervous for March 9th, which I am like, it makes me more excited to play because it's like new territory. It's new ground to get to cover. And I'm just simultaneously extremely terrified and excited for March 9th. So I can't wait to play. And what's new? I've been practicing and buying guitars and trying to keep my hands busy and trying to get out of my mindset of just like, oh, I got free time all day. No, practice. Do something. Do something, Matt.
I love that. Hey, what's up? What's new? It's gonna be those nerves. I get that feeling, and I'm excited to see you on stage. I was listening to your music today, so I'm excited to see what you do and how you shine on that stage.
Thank you.
No, what's up? What's new with you?
Oh, Matt, you put words into my heart that I need to regurgitate some of. Going back out on stage after such a long time, and that awful word pivot. I never want to hear the word pivot, bubble, or what? There are like a number of words that I'm like, no, just no. Or Zoom. I just don't want to talk. I just don't want to talk about Zoom.
Shout out to Zoom right now.
Shout out to Zoom. It is very connective, and I'm grateful. But getting back on stage has been a really interesting kind of progression, and it gives you a different kind of nerves. I personally have been pivoting. I have been looking at bombshell branches. So I have a podcast with my co-founder Raquel, and it's been running faster than we can keep up. So we do a lot of our career pathway kind of work and health, wealth, and life design through that podcast, and that's been really keeping me in check and keeping me busy, as well as, you know, auditions. The film industry here in BC is strong and pretty unwavering through the pandemic with a few hiccups. So it's been very much a time of recording audiobooks, sending in auditions, doing everything on tape, buying gear, not knowing how to work the gear, calling Ian because I don't know how to work the gear, calling Ian back because he already told me one time and I don't want to call him back, but I'm going to, bribing Ian not taking the bribe, me finally figuring out how to use the gear, and that brought me to here right now. I'm using that piece of gear as we speak.
Hey.
That's how I am.
I love that. Hey, you know, community, that's what this show is all about. So I love hearing that. What's up? What's new with you, Ian?
Well, this show that we're doing is probably the newest and most exciting thing that I've got going on right now. So back in July of 2021, we were awarded a grant from Factor to do a series of monthly shows at Guilt and Company, which is really exciting and quite a privilege, because Guilt is just this destination venue and has been loomed very large in my imagination for many years. And we were all set to go. Everything, like the lineup was ready to go and everything was good. For January, it was supposed to be the launch. And then, of course, Omicron ate the whole thing. And we had to kind of hit the pause button. And so I've been sitting on this idea, this concept with this amazing lineup of artists for like almost 3 months. And then it's finally happening. So I'm really, really excited about that. We're going to be doing these every month with a different guest curator. So I'm taking, founder's privilege and doing the first one, but next month it'll be Patrick Spencer from Coldwater Road. We've got Tisa Rahim, we've got Tall Mark, and of course we have the one and only Missy D, who's going to be throwing down a show at Guilt and Company, curating a show at Guilt. So it's going to be a vibe. We're going to be doing this every month, and I'm very excited. The other thing that is new is that I am currently trying to run for city council. This community work that I've been doing through Locals Lounge for the past 5 years has taught me a lot of lessons about connecting people and the importance of community and just how foundational it can be to a whole bunch of other stuff in our lives. So I want to try expanding that work and bringing that citywide, and putting music in public places is kind of my jam. But hopefully getting to use some of my scientific background as well to help guide different policy decisions and stuff as they're getting made. So it's been a weird sort of foray into politics, which is a new gear for me. But I mean, people who know me know that I am always working on like 8 or 9 things at once. So that's what a campaign is. It's 8 or 9 things at once.
And if I may say, actively championing the local community has always been, it's been the thing that you've done so well, Ian, over the whole time I've known you. So it seems like a very natural, albeit scary progression if I was in your shoes.
That's what I love to do.
Hey.
I love you doing it also.
Yeah.
You're basically already my city council guy anyway. Like,
I was about to say, right?
I need to know what's going on with anything. I reach out to Ian.
It's just a piece of paper.
There's a weird popping noise in my bathroom. The toilet's on it.
Anything.
Won't stop hiding behind
Sorry,
me.
it's 3 a.m. Ian.
She keeps calling me to set up her gear.
My gear is broken. Did you
You're
turn
really
it on?
doing it. Wow, you're doing everything. I'm just saying. I think I've talked to you about, fundraising and all these kinds of things. So you got the skills. You do a lot of things. You know how to multitask.
I've been working.
So I'm excited to see what's next for you. Now I know what's new with you. I want to know a little bit more of what came before that. So I got this round called Through the Wire. It's inspired by this song by Shaka Khan, which might sound familiar to another generation from Kanye West. And it goes, through the wire, To the limit, to the wall. Big man. I'm not gonna sing it because Shaka Khan does a better job at it. But
I don't know.
You did a great job.
thank you,
great job.
thank you. I got a little nervous and I was like, oh, Shaka Khan might watch this one day. I don't know. So to pay respect to her, I named this round after her song. But the premise of this round is I'm gonna give you a random year. I've chosen a year for each person. With this year, I want you to think about a memory from that year. Maybe something, a shout out you want to give, maybe Mr. Charette, did this thing. He helped me get here. I don't know. Or maybe you want to think about something that stood out or you discovered about yourself that year. Sometimes you don't like that year because, we move forward. We live in the moment. So if you don't like that year, you can say, hey, Missy, pass. And there's a lot of numbers in the world. I can give you another number that hopefully matches to a year. So does that sound good for folks? Okay, I'm gonna switch up the order here. Ian, your year is 2006.
2006, I would have been in my third year of university. So this was actually a pretty pivotal year for me. Since the time I was 12, when I was 12, I decided that I wanted to grow up and be Fraser Crane from the show Frasier. I wanted to be a radio psychiatrist and I wanted to help people and be famous and be fancy. That was kind of my
Goals.
ideal life, right? Minus the grumpy dad and minus the Jack Russell Terrier. And so I had been pursuing medicine up until then pretty single-mindedly. But that year was the year where I gave up that dream, where I realized that I didn't want to go to medical school, that I didn't want to do medicine, which is, you have to do that in order to be a psychiatrist. And I was just like, this is not for me. And it was my first experience in my life of not having a plan. And I was pretty depressed. I was pretty sort of aimless. And I ended up wandering into the office of one of my professors. And when I told him what was up, he was like, yeah, man, I never really saw you as a medicine guy. That's not how I picture you. I picture you as a research guy, an epidemiology guy. And I was like, epi what? Because this was prior to the pandemic and no one had heard of epidemiology. And that one conversation in that professor's office changed and informed the entire course of the rest of my life. Just that one. So, give it up for Dr. Glenn Ward. Rest in peace, Glenn. Yeah, big, huge life shift for me that year.
Thank you for sharing that. So we get to know a little bit of 2006 Ian and how it's shaped you today. I'm gonna go to Matt. Matt, your year is gonna be 2010. What were you up to?
I was in Winnipeg. I still lived in Winnipeg at that point. I think that was the year I got the violin that's on the wall behind me. I believe that is 2010. There's not a huge backstory to the violin, kind of a little bit. That was probably the most significant thing that happened to me that year. The violin behind me is a Roth violin. It's from Germany. Fiddle players in general, across a lot of the ones I know across Canada, they really value these violins because they're kind of like Gibson guitars for violins. They're solid violins that you can buy are brand new. They're not super fancy 200-year-old violins. They're oh, I could buy one from 2010. And a friend of mine who just started a music store in northern Manitoba, and he got them all at cost and somehow became their distributor for most of Canada. He sold 10 of them, but he sold me the first one. He gave me 4 or 5 of them, and he said, try them as long as you want, and just pick the one that you like. So that was extremely rare. That was someone extending me a massive kindness because I was a broke university student and I was, trying to pick out a significant investment into myself, basically. So I got to try all 5 of them, and I picked the one that's behind me. It's really beat up now. It's got all kinds of marks on it and stuff. But the biggest thing that made the difference was that he sold it to me at cost. He could have sold it to me for about $5,000-$6,000. He gave it to me for $2,400. And then on top of that, my community, my indigenous community in northern Manitoba also contributed to it. My parents contributed to it. So many people put their belief into me, into that instrument, which I then beat up for 12 years. But that's kind of what that year represents. The year I got that fiddle, and that fiddle's taken care of me every year since then.
Hey, the power of an instrument, the power of community, the power of you and your drive and determination. Ian, take notes. We want that in the city. You know, we want that for the city. You know, just putting that there. I'm gonna go to Christina. Christina, your year is a little bit closer, but still, you know, a few years back now. People sometimes forget that before 2020, there was 2019. So I'm wondering, Christina, what were you doing in 2019?
Okay, firstly, thank you. Because I was like, if you give me a year that's like 2003 or 2000, I'm going to have to do maths really quickly and riff in between trying to do my maths on my phone. I'm not joking, my maths, not good. It's not good. And just to speak to Ian for a second, knowing when to quit and change and shift can be the most powerful thing. And Matt, having an instrument just be imbued with all of the love and the community and the people around you and the investment that other people made is like, what wonderful, wonderful stories. So thank you for sharing them. I'm glad that I got to learn a bit more about both of you. 2019. Now let me think. What happened in 2019? I was in Vancouver. I know that for a fact. That's good. I was friends with Ian. I also know that for a fact. I'm pretty sure this was pre me calling Ian for all of the gear questions. But we were just friends, living our best lives, trying not to burn out. And at the time, I was working for a recording school, and I was juggling acting and music and really working so hard and Bombshell Brunches was an in-person community at the time. We hadn't started the podcast yet. There was, I think Raquel was thinking about it. And what I was really trying to do was juggle everything. And I have this incredible career coach who helped me to stop smoking after 18 years of smoking 20 to 40 cigarettes a day. And I continued to see him every week. His name's Larry. Hi, Larry. And he said to me at that time, we love Larry.
Love Larry.
He's so great. You can do it all. You just can't do it all at once. And Ian and I had so many conversations about this. And 2019, I don't know if you remember, Ian, but both of us were like tag team burning out at that time. There was Locals Lounge going on. I had just come back from a tour, from a UK national tour. We were both juggling so many things. I'm looping Ian into this because I've got to say that in the spirit of Constellation, before Constellation began, Ian was my absolute rock for these times that I was, like most artists, trying to juggle a gig-based economy, the uncertainty of whether you're going to get booked for live shows, whether you're going to get onto this TV show. And so I was trying to ride multiple waves. And what 2019 gave me was the ability to surround myself with the type of people who would help me to build the best surfboard, to ride those big waves as they came through. I think that was my 2019.
You got some quotables. I feel some future songs. Who knows? Maybe I need to copyright some lines here. You can do it all, but not all at once. I felt a little
Hashtag Larry.
Hashtag Larry. You know,
the four of us would be an incredibly bookable band. I just want to point that out.
Hey,
right?
I'm just saying, is this the beginning? Constellation number one.
Just saying.
Just saying. I got a poster, guys. Like, I'm ready. I'm glad I get, like, I like what you said, Christina. Even before you answered the question, you said, "Hey, I'm getting to know a little bit more about Ian and Matt," and that's what this whole show is about. So that warmed my heart when you said that. I was like, yeah, that's what this is. If you're watching this right now, if you're listening to this later, this is what this show is about. So we're gonna go to round 3 because time is moving by fast. Round 3 is a rapid fire round. It's called That Thing, That Thing, That Thing. So, you know, of course, I love Lauren Hill, so I had to name her around after her. Now, we're not going to be talking about that thing, except if you want to talk about that thing. But we're going to be asking you some fun fact questions. I picked a few questions that are a bit random, that are a bit new, that I'd love to discover about you. So think about your answer, and I might call your name first. Folks, constellation number 1. What's one thing you do before any video call?
Who's
Put
meant
on a
to answer?
collared shirt.
Oh.
All right, not all at once, but Matt, what were you saying?
I said put on a collared shirt.
That-
Usually I'm in a t-shirt or something lazy at home, so it's like a Zoom call. I'm at home and I'm not in presentable clothes or a presentable state. So check
Hey.
the hair, put on a shirt. Yeah.
Okay. We need to know. I wanted to know the behind the scenes exactly. Christina, what's one thing you do before any video call?
I call Ian to check if my gear's working.
We
Ian's
are
getting a lot of
she's making us
shout
be way more codependent than we actually are. Christina is a fully functioning, independent adult person.
No, quasi at best. Wednesdays I do quite well.
Mostly functioning person.
Mostly functioning. What do I do before I start a Zoom call? I check my hair and makeup and lighting. I am a big fan of good lighting. I'm an actor. What can I say?
Hey, you know, we're going to be taking some lessons very soon from you. Ian, what's one thing you do before any video Zoom call?
So all of the lights in this room are on voice control.
What?
And so what I do before the Zoom call is I set the color and I turn on my spotlight here. But yeah, the whole thing is, hey Google, turn off all the lights.
Oh my God.
Oh. What's the other code words you have?
I have one that's, hey Google, I'm in a meeting. And that one just turns everything on.
Oh, nice.
Except apparently not.
Google didn't want
so
to.
yeah. No.
That time.
Google, my robot is very rebellious.
Hey, that is so cool. Okay, I felt like I was in one of those action movies. Like, hey, I need that setting. Okay, we'll talk later. What's one thing? Okay, I'm gonna ask the question first to Christina. What's one thing not a lot of people know about you?
Not a lot of people know that I suffered from extraordinary stage fright. When I was growing up, I couldn't look at a camera without bursting into hysterics. Like if someone turned an old school camera, because I'm old school, I would literally involuntarily just burst into hysterics. I spent 5 years in private singing lessons and coaching to deal with the nerves and anxiety of being on stage. Very few people know that.
Wow. Yeah, I'm learning new things. That's never crossed my mind, but now, you know, I know.
Yeah, I'm glad they did their job.
Look at you. Matt, what's one thing not a lot of people know about you or that you can do?
I'm a huge family person. Not much people know my family. I moved to Vancouver. I live here alone. I have no family on this side of the country, let alone like someone to see. But once I get back home and I'm with my nieces and my nephew, I just turn into like Mr. Mom kind of, I guess. So most of my friends here would never see that part of me except for what I maybe share on social media. But that I abandoned this whole musician persona once I'm around the kids. Then I'm just like another hey, who wants ice cream kind of guy. Like, what are we doing? Are we having fun? Do you want to watch a movie? But now my nieces and nephew, they're all teenagers and they're boring now. So
I want ice cream. I will come to the ice cream party.
Listen,
ice cream party sounds weird.
I don't know, but I'm down, I guess. Ice cream social.
Ice cream social is better, yeah.
Yeah, ice cream social. I'm down. We'll bring out the family guy here too. That's a beautiful quality to have. Ian, what's one thing? You know, we heard you do a lot of things, but
That's what makes this question so hard to answer, because I live my life extremely publicly. Like every facet of my life is pretty much done out in the world in some way. I guess something that people never really know about me is whether or not I am dating anyone. That is not something that I usually like broadcast to the world. So I kind of exist in this, is he married? Does he have kids? What's his deal? Is he gay? Like what's like that part of my life I don't really share much with the world. I share with my friends, obviously. But aside from that, yeah, I live a very, very, very public life. There's not a lot of mystery. What you see is pretty much what there is.
I had no clue you did IT support, so.
We discovered things today, though. We discovered things today.
Yeah.
You know, but hey, we'll keep it. We'll keep it. People have to find out. I'm sure some people are wondering right now, dating anybody, but I'm not gonna put that pressure on you.
They could ask. They could wonder.
Yeah,
and
slide in those DMs
if they're feeling brave, they could ask me out and see what the answer is.
Hey, this is when I put like some romantic music in the background. Anyways, I love it. I love a little reaction, and it's soloed on you right now, so it's beautiful.
Where did that heart come from?
Moving on to another one thing question. What's one thing that always makes you laugh, Matt?
Oh my God, that is the worst question to ask me in the world. I am one of those people that is constantly laughing at jokes that I come up with in my own head that are impossible to describe to other people, to the point that people I'm around closely just stop asking why I'm laughing. Like, because I just do it nonstop. Like, I've done it 17 times during this interview. One thing that always makes me laugh. Like, it's too much. I gotta see old movies, Dumb and Dumber. That always gets me. Doesn't matter. It would be the 7,000th time I've watched it. It's still funny for some reason.
Hey, I love it. I haven't watched it in a long time, but maybe I will. Ian, what's one thing that makes you laugh?
2 kids in a trench coat pretending to be an adult.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought for a
I
second.
will never, ever not laugh at 2 kids in a trench coat pretending to be an adult. That is the world's funniest thing to me. I don't know why, but it's my favorite. I love it.
I dig it. For a second, I was like, there's a movie I haven't watched, but then I feel like, oh, the actual thing, which is dope. I haven't seen that in a long time, or ever, except in. I just realized. Christina, what's one thing that always makes you laugh?
We should invite those to the ice cream social and see if we can get.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
I don't want to be inviting kids places. I don't,
Fair. It has to be of their own volition with their parents or guardians.
Possibly single adult man inviting kids to go places disguised.
But they're dressed like an adult. You don't know they're
kids.
You don't know.
That makes it worse, Matt. That makes it worse.
All right.
I am not going to continue that.
Yes, please do that.
One thing that makes me laugh always, without any hesitation, is my mother. If my mother starts laughing, and my mother laughs at very easily, she's just this beacon of light. And when she laughs, she looks directly at me and laughs, and then I cannot not laugh. I know that's a double negative. I apologize. But she always makes me laugh. And the same as if she cries, I will just burst into tears spontaneously. So yeah, it's my mother. It doesn't matter what she's laughing at. I just look at her, she laughs, I laugh, everyone looks around and goes, what is happening? And then we continue to laugh like no one else exists.
This is when I don't like to plug myself. This one I'd be like, yes, mama.
Yes, mama.
I love it. So I'll plug maybe the song here, maybe I don't. Who knows? But one last thing, and then we'll go to the next round. You're performing on March 9th. A lot of you mentioned at the beginning of the call and the show, hey, this is the first time we're performing in front of an audience. So my one thing for you at this time is, what's one thing you love about live music? Let's start with Matt.
I feel like playing music was the main thing I was born to do. Absolutely. Like I have other skills. You know, I was given other gifts. I am good with math, Christina. So I've had that, and I feel like I could have coasted on that. But when I started playing music, I was 12, 11 and a half or something. I started late for someone who plays a violin or a fiddle. And it just immediately clicked. To me, it was the first thing I really was good at. It was the first thing that I put in, like, other people were good at sports. Other people were good at, I couldn't never draw. I had a friend that could draw amazing. He could draw Disney art in grade 3, and I was jealous of that. Then I had friends who were good at other things. And then music was, there was no part of my life. And then one day it just came into my life and it took everything over. And I was like, I was born to do this. I have to do this. I can't not do this. Again, the double negative. But I could never put it down. I used to practice 12 hours a day as a 12-year-old. I had no idea how I had that much stamina, but it was, again, the first thing I was just in love with. I can't stop. And I notice if I stop, I get sick. I don't know. It's not physical sick. It's not emotional sick. Something just feels off or wrong if I'm not playing music. So I absolutely love that it's a part of me. And I'm thankful that I was blessed with a gift.
Don't have a lot of words, just happy to hear that. Just happy applause. Christina, what's one thing you love about live music?
Live music to me is a conversation between energies. And the thing that I love specifically about live music is sharing a sentiment with someone who may not have had those words before. So Matt, I know you said, you rehearsed for 12 hours a day. I would write. I didn't know how to play anything until I was in my early 20s. I mean, arguably, I still don't know how to play anything. Ian's been on stage with me. He can attest to that after our last show. And he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I don't remember the chords off my... It did happen for a second. I remember the exact
I will
moment.
not be part of your fabulation.
You already are. Anyway, but I would write. And one of the things that happened at one show, I was playing in London and someone came up to me and said, you gave me words that I didn't have before. And I was like, oh, and before I could say anything else, they went, so now I'm going to go quit my job. And I was like, oh no, wait. are you sure that's the... And they were like, yes, I'm done with my life the way that it is. And I was like, okay, well, good luck. But it was very powerful. And in all honesty, when we hear a song and we hear it live and it comes all the way through our bodies that are made up of like 70%, 80% water, it vibrates on a level that we don't get in other ways, in other spaces. And we're sharing that collective energy just as we are in theater with people who are right next to us. And I wrote a song about it. It's called Rose. And we're just, when we sit and stand and move next to each other and stay next to each other, we have this shared experience that is inimitable. It's just, you cannot compare it to anything else.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said. Ian, what's one thing you love about live music?
Well, the first thing that I was going to say is that it's a huge part of my life and that I've already done it, but Matt said that. And then I was going to say, well, it has this unique ability to connect us. And Christina said that. So I guess the chicks.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Does that mean you're single?
Does that mean you're not gay?
No.
It
It doesn't. Well, yeah, I guess it would mean that. No, I think there's something like, so I spent a lot of time last summer busking, and this was I hadn't done it in 2020, but I had done it in the years previous, and there was just a very dramatic difference in the crowd response. People were coming up to me and saying, like, I didn't realize how much I had missed this until I heard you playing, because it's been the first live music that I've heard in over a year. And like that was extremely, extremely touching to me. But I think that sort of, there is something that is literally magical about live music that it is a way of decorating time. It allows us to exist in a world that is more wondrous than the sort of prosaic day to day. And in those moments, we do get, not literally transported, but maybe spiritually or numinously transported to a different way of connecting with the world around us. And I think that allows us to be more fully human, in a way that other art forms can get us some of the way there, but I think that music is unique in its ability to really just transform our minds and our hearts and really just give us a whole new perspective on stuff, which then gets me chicks. So
Nice.
The
And
conclusion, the thesis. I was gonna say y'all sound like some songwriters. Y'all sound like birds.
We got
And
deep.
yeah, and
you
I
got me
appreciate
thinking
it.
there, Ian. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt the magic. So I appreciate all your answers. We're getting close to the end, but it's not almost the end. It's round 4. A good friend of mine who goes by the name of Kimordo has a song that you might hear my voice on it too. And JB the First Lady. It goes, I am made of stars, stars, stars. The song is called Stars. So I wanted to do this round where we give shout outs. It's gonna be quick, a little bit quick, a little bit of pressure on y'all. So I want you to think about the people that inspired you. Give them a shout out. The people that are inspiring you right now. Maybe you want to tell them, hey, you should go listen to that person. They're amazing. You should go to a live show of theirs. They're amazing. Or it could be just an opportunity to showcase the rest of the lineup, the other people that are going to be performing in the next series. I'm going to give you that space. I'm going to give you that mic, pass you the mic. So I'll pass it off first to Matt. Who are you giving your shout outs to?
Gonna give a shout out to my first fiddle teacher, actually. His name's Blaine Klippenstein. Imagine learning that at 11 years old. It's the coolest name I've ever heard in my life. And he's basically kind of like my Gandalf. He just rode into my small town one day and just put me out on this great adventure without me having a clue what I was getting into. I think without him, I still would have found music. I still would have connected with it somehow. But I was extremely blessed to have him as my first teacher because he wasn't what I would call a musician. He was an artist. He practiced all kinds of art forms. Music was just one of them. And he just brought this instrument to northern Manitoba, which was kind of dying out there. We only had maybe a dozen fiddle players in northern Manitoba throughout the entire province. He decides to move to some small logging community, start a fiddle class with 6 students in this logging town that has maybe 50 people. And he sparked a program that is now worth over a couple $1 million, has over 2,500 current students with thousands of alumni, including myself. So I'm thankful for him because he didn't just give that gift to me. He gave it to literally tens of thousands of other Indigenous kids in Winnipeg. And I have lifelong friends from that. So he is going to be the first one. People inspiring me right now is everybody that's just kept it going throughout the thing. I have seen musicians quit in my life, in my career. And anybody that made it through the pandemic, and me and my buddy Eric, one of my people I play music with, we were talking about how valueless we felt after a couple of months of the pandemic, and how I worked my life on this skill. I put so much attention and time into it, and now I don't even have the ability to share it with anybody. And I think everybody who's a musician got to that low point. We all worked on these skills. They're not easy to get. They're not easy to maintain. And then all of a sudden we were all like we were all yo-yo masters. Like we had this skill that we were so good at, but we didn't think anybody would ever want to see again. No offense to yo-yo masters, but that's what our analogy was like, I feel like I'm really good at yo-yo. Like I got this skill that I can't share with anybody and it needs to be shared. So I want to shout out to everybody just who survived, who made it through this and kept their music going, kept their inspiration going, because keeping that alive was impossibly hard. And then people you want to check out, I gotta say Whelming. I want to give a shout out to Whelming. Eric and Mark, 2 of my band members, play in that band, and I just love the music they do. It's kind of like an alt jazz rock. It's amazing. There's so many layers to it that it's just listening to it, you hear something new every time. So
amazing. Please
Vancouver
send me
band.
their links, and we'll put them in the description of this video. Kristina, who do you want to give your shout outs to?
My goodness, my list is so long, but I will keep it very short. I've already said thanks to Larry. Larry's the best. I always say thanks to my family. The people that inspire me are the people that keep me lit up all the time. And Raquel and I on the podcast, shout out to the Bombshell Branches podcast team. You're amazing. Those are the people inspiring me because they're my fire friends. They're the people like Ian, who was one of the original people that helps me run when I'm low on fuel and low on fumes, because they're running right beside me. So people like that really help me. Someone like Carolyn Quinn, CQ Voice. I can't tell you how much my voice has relied on training from Carolyn Quinn through this pandemic, not just as a singer, but for audiobooks, for narration. I highly recommend getting someone to help you with your voice if you are a vocally led artist. I always thank Music BC. I always think that Music BC and Creative BC do so much, and they are very different in what they do. Factor as well, SOCAN as well. These organizations are made up of people who care so much about the scene, and we don't always see it when we don't get the grants we want and we don't get the funding necessarily. We don't get our individual support, but they really, really care. The people that are in those organizations really do. I've also been really inspired recently by the Vancouver Asian Film Festival and the anti-Asian initiatives, anti-Asian hate initiatives that they've started, like with Eliminate Hate. And that was a huge, huge issue for me and for my family and for the people in my community that I care a lot about. And we were very adversely affected, as were many, many, many folks. So Barbara Lee, who started that, was just on the podcast, and she is one of my heroes. And a really good friend of mine, G Love, who also, and in addition to being a DJ, works with the Vancouver Mural Festival and Winter Arts Festival that Ian and I just played recently, alongside event producers like Public Disco, Nick and Finn, incredible human beings that curate. And I get really upset when I talk about them in like the best way, because I'm like, these people are doing so much about town and so much that you see and you don't get to see their faces. And maybe they don't want everyone to look at their faces all the time. They're great faces. But that support for those organizations is, I can't say thank you enough to those people who are making the city the way that it is and painting it, literally painting it beautiful. The final person I am really inspired by is Sarah Kirby Young, who's a current city councillor. She's a dear friend of mine, and she's been advocating for a lot of spaces. Ian and I have had conversations with her before Ian was running for city council. I have a lot of respect for people like Sarah, people like Ian, who put themselves into political arenas that are very, very scary for me. And so seeing other people who are in there instead is very reassuring. Yeah, those are the people that are inspiring. And musician-wise, I will defer to anything that Locals Lounge suggests. I've heard Lajla Jean a long time ago, and I can't wait to hear them again. And I've listened to Matt's music, and I love it. It's like reminiscent of my rock days. And Elle Burston. I have to say, I'm a big fan of Elle's. Yeah, those and Missy D. If you haven't listened to Missy D's music, listen.
I thought you were gonna say Missy Elliott. I was like, yes.
Oh my gosh, always Missy Elliott. Always.
That too. But you know, that'd be cool if they want to go to another alphabet letter too.
Go to Missy D.
Ian, who do you want to give your shout outs to?
I can't believe that was Christina's short list.
It was.
I can only imagine. That was like the phone book. So I want to take a step back and look at this question. The topic is stars, and this is we talked about the Naomi Murakami quote, "Why be a star when you can make a constellation?" The constellation is a collaborative endeavor between different local music organizers and community leaders. This is the work that I've been wanting to do this entire time, is bring together people who have the passion and the initiative and the drive to try and build something. And these were not big, hugely successful projects that had like tons of followers and stuff. This is just a bunch of people who are trying, who are putting in the effort, who I love and who I respect. So shout out to my stars, Tallmark, Patrick Spencer, Jess Vira, Tisa Rahim, and of course, Missy D, for being part of my constellation, being part of this incredible experiment that we're on together. I am so impressed and so inspired and so driven to bring the music community back with strength. This show that's happening next on the 9th is going to be the one more point of light in this constellation that we are trying to build here in Vancouver's music scene. And I'm so excited to be on this journey with those folks. As far as musicians go, I got to shout out my parents, who 8 years ago picked up the saxophone and the clarinet and just decided to become jazz musicians. This is brand new territory for them.
That's so great.
For 8 years.
And they just decided in their retirement years that this, like, we're going to do this new chapter. and so every Saturday morning they do a live jazz show on Zoom. They invite all their boomer friends. It's adorable, and they're really good. They've gotten like they put in a ton of work. And what that tells me is something very important, is that it is never, ever, ever too late to live the life you want.
Mm-hmm.
And I am so inspired and so driven by that example.
I've attended. If you want to attend, ask Ian and maybe he'll let you attend also.
They didn't make your list, Christina. Everyone else on the planet was on your list.
You know what? You're right. The Cromwells. Thank you. And also my dad did the same. My dad picked up the guitar at an age later than a young age, which is like a couple of years ago. But I've been to those Zoom shows, and they're my Saturday morning respite. I get my coffee.
They're pretty fun.
Oh, they're so fun.
I had no clue they'd only been playing for 8 years. So they actually we played a show with them, and
we did.
They fit in like they've been doing it for their whole. I figured that you learned an instrument because of them. That they were
that's what I thought.
They've been doing it forever.
Other way around. In fact, this past summer I took them. I inspired them to go busking this past summer. I took them on their first busking trip when I went out to Toronto.
Gosh.
Yeah. Shout out to mom and dad.
Shout out.
I love these shout outs. I love these stars. Another reason why I did this round, because it's a brand new round from the Missy D Interviews Constellation, is maybe a practice round for you to, maybe one day someone will be giving you your flowers, whether that's in the form of an award. People call it an acceptance speech, and then you have to give some shout outs too. So you just did that, but I think even without the award, but still I'm going to give you your flowers of the things you're doing in your community and that you'll be doing on March 9th. So I thank you in advance. It's not even the end of the show. It sounds like the end of the show, and I'm already sending my gratitude, but I enjoyed these last 45, however minutes we are into right now. I got one last question. This question is called To My Younger Self. Yourself could be 2 minutes ago. It could be 2006, Ian, finishing graduation. It could be 2010 when you got that violin, Matt. It could be 2019, you figuring out your steps as you go and build maybe bombshell brunches, not just as a brunch, but maybe as a podcast. Christina, so think about what you want to tell your younger self. If you don't want to talk to your younger self and you're like, I'm going to live in the present, you can talk to yourself now, or you could talk to the people watching this Missy D Interviews Constellation. What would you say to them? So I'm gonna start with Christina.
I wrote a song recently called Choices, and Carl and I have been working on it. Actually, we co-wrote the song, and And my favorite line from it is, "I won't make my choices like my life depends on you." And there's a point where when I really don't enjoy any aspect of bullying. I don't think anyone does. But when I was young and I felt like I didn't fit in anywhere, I was kind of dancing the line of not being one or the other. In many ways, one of the things I felt was that I was making my choices to try and be accepted and try to belong. And one thing I would say to my younger self is not to make choices based on that, based on whether or not you're going to belong to some other group or get, affirmation from other people. You're perfect just as you are.
You said it. And we have to believe it. So I hope people believe it. Matt, what would you tell your younger self?
The scary choices are the right ones. I often learn after the fact that a lot of the things that I took gambles or huge risks on made my life better in so many ways. Leaving my community to go to university, that's a big choice in an Indigenous person's life. You leave the entire world, that is, in my case, a community of 1,200 people. I graduated with 11 people. Then I decided I'm going to go to business school. I somehow made it through business school. And then I graduated, and then I'm sitting with a piece of paper in my hand, and I'm like, do I want to continue life in Winnipeg, or let's jump on a plane to Vancouver with a suitcase and a fiddle and see what happens. And then answering a Craigslist ad, searching for a fiddle player. And that's how I met Ian.
No
The
way.
scary choices are the ones that work out.
Hiding these stories. Sometimes I'm like, I could talk to people for hours and want to listen to these stories. Wow. Okay. I needed to hear that, by the way. So I appreciate you sharing that. Ian, what would you tell your younger self?
Don't bet against yourself. I'm more or less living exactly the life that I want to be living. And that is because, and especially over the past few years, it's because I've decided to be just a lot more fearless and to, it sounds incredibly dumb and incredibly contrived, but to trust the universe, so to speak, but just to recognize that every time I bet on myself, I win. So I'm never betting against myself ever again. And I think it would have taken a lot of anxiety away from my younger self to know and to be able to trust that everything that you're working on is going to turn out. Don't bet against yourself.
You heard it here, Missy D Interviews Constellation. This was the last question for all of you. I'm gonna put it back on the gallery so we get to see all your faces. I'm gonna get to play a little music that might sound familiar to some, maybe sound familiar to others.
Oh no!
You're listening to the sounds of Matt Comtois from Ex Machina. The song is called In Stone. We met some stellar folks. This is what Constellation is all about. Locals Lounge, March 9. Ex Machina, Christina Lao, Ian Cromwell. Come see some more live music.
Time is
Missy D Interviews. Shining, doing your thing.
one that we all must go through. I'll take the day for all.
Still so weird to hear myself like singing.